everyone, today I have a freaking enormous collective haul. This goes all the way to Black Friday to now, so I have a ton of things to talk about. This will probably end up being a 45-minute video, so just pause and get a snack if you need to, get comfortable, do whatever you need to do. We will probably be here a while. On Black Friday, I used a 20% off code to get the Shadowhunter Codex by Cassandra Clare, but I got the fancy Barnes & Noble edition that has the cover, and then, I think this is on all of them, but like shiny pages. Yes. I'm gonna read this eventually, but I think it's too pretty to read like all in one sitting, bringing it places, so I'll probably just glance through it every now and then when I'm at home. But the annotations are so funny, and this is gonna be really informative. I'm sure it's gonna be great. Over the past couple of months, I've also gone to several half-price books locations, meaning like I got handfuls and handfuls of books from half-price books, and so here's just all the books that I got from half-price books lately. So this one's one of my favorite childhood books that I obsessed over this series in 6th grade. It's the Phantom Stallion series, The Wild Horse Island, and yes, that does say autographed copy. This is signed by the author Terry Farley, who I was obsessed with. I really want to reread this because I just remember absolutely adoring it. And then next we have a book that I couldn't get the sticker fully off of, which, why? It's What's Left of Me by Zhang, sorry. But this cover, I bought this because the cover, honestly, I'm not even completely sure what it's about. But I just, I've seen this book for a while, I've had my eye on it, then I saw it there paperback for like $4, so I got it. Don't judge me. What I can get from the synopsis is there's 2 minds in one body, the government wants to hurt you, tear out the second person, yada yada. It sounds like The Host in a nutshell, so I really loved The Host. I think I'll like this. Then, since I know you're watching Fergus, I got this one for you. My friend Fergus has been telling me to read The Night Circus for like a year, and so I got it. It feels really big and heavy and official, and I really liked Water for Elephants, so I'm hoping I'll continue to enjoy this whole circus theme, because this is about a circus that arrives with no warning. Yeah, I think we can kind of like guess what this is about because circus. And then I got a mermaid book, which is Lost Voices by Sarah Porter. I've been wanting to read more mermaid novels because I've read of Poseidon, but not really anything else in that genre. So this is one that was recommended to me. I'm not completely sure what the synopsis is. She's one of 3 lost girls. Her father vanishes at a storm at sea. She's stuck in an Alaskan fishing village, and then yada yada yada, mermaids. Cannot wait to read this. I love mermaids. Also, I can't get this sticker off either, which is really tragic. Speaking of stickers I can't get off, this is the Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight, which sounds so good. I want to read this like today, and it's so small I probably could. This book is about a girl that's stuck at an airport while she's trying to go to London to her father's wedding, and she meets a boy there named Oliver, so I'm kind of like, Oliver? Well, I think this is just gonna be adorable. I think I'm just gonna read this all in one sitting. It's my first Jennifer E. Smith novel. Such excite! And then I got a really well-known novel that I haven't read yet. I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lore. Lore. Did he do that on purpose because it rhymes? This is basically just about like an alien species, I suppose. Yeah, 9 of us came here. We look like you, we talk like you. And basically they're hunting down these alien things. Are they even aliens? I'm not sure, but they're being hunted, they're running from people, and I'm not completely sure if that's exactly what it is, but I have a feeling I'm gonna like it. And I need to finish this series because this is one of the ones that I really want to get through. Then I got a really well-known book. It's Ruby Red by Kirsten Gear, and this book is like smaller than your normal hardback. It's like, okay, like a centimeter thinner, but still, it's just so pretty. Oh my god. I'm not too sure what this is about. All I know is the word time travel comes to mind, so that sounds fun. I'm excited to read this one. Yeah. Then I found a first signed edition of Mitch Albom's lovely, beautiful new book, which is The First Phone Call from Heaven. And if you know me, I am obsessed with Mitch Albom. I have all of his books. Okay, I have like 3 of his books, which is pretty much all of them, but I collect his books. He's one of my favorite authors. I want to read all of his books one day, and this is his newest novel, and first of all, the cover scheme, so pretty, but then also decal edges, so pretty, but then also the synopsis sounds freaking good. Someone gets a phone call, and the voice on the phone is like, I'm from heaven. And he's like, oh, well, no, I don't remember doing drugs this morning. Why are people from heaven calling me? It just sounds so good. Mitch Albom writes the best plots. I cannot wait to read this one. The next book that I got is a monster of a book, but half of it's pictures, so it's okay. I got The Invention of Hugo Cabaret. I know you don't pronounce it Cabaret. I just don't know how to say it the French fancy way. Is it French? I don't know. I should stop saying it. And this book, so huge. I've been wanting to get this for a while because at half price books it's only $10 as opposed to $25. So I knew I wanted to get this eventually because it is good. I know it's like a middle grade novel. I just dropped it. But it just seems like something I would like, and I have no idea why. I just saw it and the spine was like, Whitney, buy me. I have a feeling I could probably just get through this really easily because the pages that aren't pictures are like size 15 font. And that was all that I got from Half Price Books last year. So let's scoot the timeline over to about around December 20th. My dad had gone to California to visit my family there, and he was in a Barnes & Noble and was sending me pictures of bookshelves like, do you want me to get anything while I'm here? And I said yes. Good times. My dad got me 3 things while he was in California. He got Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle, which is a book that I really missed my window to read because the snow is gone and it's like only 40 degrees today. Well, that's actually pretty cold. I could probably still get away with reading this, but I feel like I'm gonna wait till next winter to read it just because I'm not in really a snowy mood. I don't know. It's more toward Christmas time that I feel like reading snow stuff, so obviously I missed my time there. The next book he got me is Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins, the new cover edition. Such majesty. I read Anna and the French Kiss and I really enjoyed it, and so I really wanted to pick this one up, and so I got the new cover on this so I can get the new cover of Anna and the French Kiss eventually, and so I can't wait to start this. I hear a ton of great things about Cricket. And synopsis-wise, it's pretty much just this guy lives next door to him. Her? Is it? I have a feeling it's about a boy next door, so let's just stick with that. And then lastly is a book that I actually already read. It is Winger by Andrew Smith, which Manuel from Book Hunter 155 has been nagging and nagging and nagging for me to read for several months, and so we were both really happy when I got to it. And this book is about a kid named Ryan Dean, and he is a 14-year-old who is a junior at a boarding school. So, as you can imagine, a 14-year-old junior is made fun of a lot, and he's kind of bullied a bit. So, it's just basically his life. I say basically while doing synopses, that's just, I can't help myself. It's just his life and things he does there and the girl he likes, stories about them, and it's just a really witty perspective of a dude going through school, and I really enjoyed it, even though I was spoiled! And then for Christmas, my neighbor Teresa got me 2 books, and those 2 books are The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline B. Cooney, which is a really small, I think even middle grade book that I've been wanting to read for the longest time because the synopsis sounds so interesting. It's about this girl that just lives a normal life, but then one day she sees on a milk carton a missing advertisement for her face. So she's like, whoa, am I stolen? Am I adopted? What is this? And does that not sound ridiculously cool? And then I got Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and I know this is some historical Russian thing, and honestly, I'm not one for historical fiction, but I will do it this time because I think I'm gonna enjoy this due to its great reviews. On the 28th, right after Christmas, my booktubish friends and a couple other people went to a Dallas meetup, which is when we went to a Panera Bread restaurant, ate lunch together, shopped for some books. It was all great. So I used my 2 gift cards to get books there, and so I got Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, which Prue's project was like, yo, buy it, and I did, because reasons. I'm not one for fantasy usually, but I'm trying to get more into it because Reagan obsesses over it and that's like all she reads. And so I'm gonna try and steer myself toward science fiction and fantasy and other things that I typically wouldn't pick up. And so this is just about a girl who's an assassin. Honestly, why am I even trying to describe this? I have no idea. So unprepared. I have already read like 15 pages of this because that night I was so eager to start it, I did. And the beginning is great. I think I'm gonna love this. And then also I got there a book I've already read. It's Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I read this originally from the library, so I picked it up in real print because I loved it so much. Fangirl is about a girl that writes fan fiction and she's going through life at college, trying to adjust being around new people, trying to adjust to her twin sister going off and doing other things, and so it's just freaking fantastic because it's like my biography. I swear Rainbow Rowell has been stalking me. On January 1st, I went to a book signing for Wendy Higgins and Victoria Scott, wherein I bought Sweet Evil and the Collector. Actually, I had bought these beforehand, but I got them signed, so Sweet Evil and the Collector, gonna cough. I have a vlog for these where I went and videotaped them talking about it, so I'm entirely too lazy to do synopses on them and talk about them. So if you want to know how I like them and anything else about them, then just go see that vlog. I will link it in the flap. Then while I was at the signing, I picked up the sequel, Sweet Ever, Peril, and The Liberator, which are both book number 2 in that series. December 31st, the Unravel Me paperback came out, and I know I already own it, and I've already owned it for like a year, but I had to get it. I mean, it had the 3rd chapter of Ignite Me in the back, and I really needed it. So I'm probably going to end up buying this whole trilogy in paperback as well as hardback because I'm a loser and I'm obsessed with it. I got a couple more random things from Barnes & Noble, so I'm going to talk about those also right now. This is Perfect Road by Lauren Destefano, which has the most beautiful cover, and I think this is my new favorite book cover just because it's so perfect. And I'm not usually one that obsesses over book covers, I'm just saying. But this book is about a kingdom that is in the sky and the clouds, kind of like Avatar, and you're basically not allowed to, I need to stop. You're not allowed to get too close to the edge because then you could fall and die and bad things. And then apparently this girl does something that doesn't have a synopsis on it. Ooh, that was not helpful to my bad synopsis. I should have gone into this way more prepared than I actually am. And then I got a hugely hyped book, which I'm sure you've heard about, The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, which is huge. Oh my god, it's so large. I've heard mixed reviews on this actually, but I'm hoping I'm part of the people that are really liking it, so I'm gonna save this for probably the summertime when I can sit down and read it all, because I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I've read books about aliens before, but probably not this type of alien, so let's just see where this takes me. I don't know. That was a really weird sentence. Let's move on really quickly to make up for the awkward. The next book that I got is The Madman's Daughter, which is a book that I also got signed from a book thingy thing this January. And this book is about a girl named Juliet, spelled the wrong way, Juliet. Why? I'm kidding. She's pretty much just a maid working, and then her father goes crazy, then she goes to an island, and there's talking animals, and it sounds really trippy, but I think I might like it. So, Regan from Prue's Project, I keep talking about her, let's just call her Regan from now on. Regan just read this, and she liked it, and she was like, you should read it, and so I was like, okay. So I think I'm gonna read this soon, hopefully. I have so many things to read. This is very sad. This is very, very sad. And after that, I placed my very first book outlet order. Isn't that exciting? So I got about a handful of books, maybe 5 or 6 books from there, and the total was like 30-something, 20-something. At first I got a hardback that was $3, and I was like, yes! Cheap books! It sounds really good. No one's ever talked about it. I've never seen it talked about. I'm gonna get it. It's pretty cheap for a hardback. Then I got it. I was like, oh, which this might look fine. It looks like a regular hardback, right? Wrong. Also wrong. It's so tiny. It's like my hand is bigger than this. This is as big as my face. This is what a normal one looks like. I'm just very upset about this. I wish I would have known it was tiny. And then I got Bunheads by Sophie Flack, which has a beautiful cover. Oh my gosh, synchronized swimming. I haven't seen, is there a movie or a TV show about this? I recognize this name from some sort of media adaptation, but I haven't seen it, I haven't read it, and I just honestly think this sounds really nice. It's just, I guess it's about ballet drama and just life in ballet, which sounds so neat. I've read, where is it? Crash Bandicoot Williams has a ballet dancer as a main character, and I thought it was so neat, so I'm excited to read this one. Then I got a David Levithan book because I freaking love David Levithan. This one is Are We There Yet? Which is about two brothers who go to Italy, I think it is. Is it Italy? Please be Italy! Yes! So it's just their bond growing and their adventures, and I think it's gonna be great because I love me some David Leviathan. Which is not how you pronounce it, but whatever. Then I got The Farm by Emily McKay. Again, this is one that I got signed. A ton of them I got signed because it was a huge book thing that happened, and so it was great. This is just a dystopian that's like, we live in this place, out of the place is bad, we don't go out of the place, but these two characters do because they're rebels and starting a revolution or whatever. And so people say this is comparable to the Hunger Games and its dystopian qualities, so we'll see if that's true or not. I think I may like this, I don't know. Then I bought Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac because of Ariel Bissett, because I've seen this book for forever, but then when I saw her talking about it, I was like, I have an excuse to buy it now. So I did. Again, why do I not know what any of these are about? It just, maybe it's about a teenager with amnesia. Then I got two Jessica Birdie books. One of them is 52 Reasons to Hate My Father, which is about a girl who works in a, or rather her dad is really rich and he gives her money to do stuff that she wants, and she's ridiculously spoiled until her dad says, if you want your trust fund, then you need to get a job and work for it. And so she works at a diner, and it just sounds hilarious. Rich girl trying to work. I'm gonna be dying laughing. So obviously there's also a boy involved, so honestly this is probably just going to be a really cutesy fun read for some summer day probably. And then I got her other book, Unremembered, which is about a girl who wakes up after some event. Oh yeah, a shipwreck. Or no, an air wreck in the ocean. And she doesn't remember anything that happens, and basically they don't know who she is, I think. Yeah. Her body's miraculously unharmed, she has no memories, period. When I told my friend that I was going on book buying ban in 2014, which, honestly, all the books that I've shown you up until now were all from 2013, so shush. He was like, you want me to get you anything? And I said, maybe. And so he ended up ordering me Angel Fall by Susan E. I'm a terrible human. You can't go on book buying ban and then have your friends buy you things. But do I have an excuse because this is really good? I cannot wait to read this. This is one of the most highly anticipated books for me to read because I just hear so many good things about them. I want to read more about is that what this is about? Fallen Angels? Yep, Angel Apocalypse. Sounds about right. I limited my book buying ban to be able to buy new releases, and so in the middle of January I bought Into the Still Blue, or the end of January I suppose, which is the third book in the Under the Never Sky trilogy. I don't want it to end because, oh my gosh, Perry and Aria. However, I think someone on Twitter spoiled me for this. It wasn't like directly stated, but they were just, I'm not gonna say, but it was bad. I'm pretty sure I know what happens at the end. Why, internet? And then I got the lovely This Star Won't Go Out by Esther Earl, and I've been tears. If you're not aware, this is the girl that inspired, or rather was like John Green's inspiration and sort of his motive for writing The Fault in Our Stars. And she is a 16-year-old that died of cancer when she was 16. And this is just her journal entries and pictures of her and stories and all that good stuff. And I'm just so emotional about this, even though I never knew her, and even though I was never really like avid about knowing her story. I feel like I'm going to after this, and I'm so excited to read this. It's gonna be so emotional though. Also a new release, I got Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. I love Ransom Riggs so much. I have a review on this, so I will link that in the down bar if you want to know what I thought about it. I'm not going to say much about it because it is the sequel to a book, but I thought it was just so great. The pictures were just so great. This dog right here, favorite character. Just kidding, Millard's my favorite. So I got this, and I also got it signed because Ransom Riggs came to Dallas to do a little signy sign thing, and in exchange for me getting Jesse the Reader a signed copy of Hollow City and sending it to him, he sent me a copy of Vicious by Ve Schwab, which we all know who this is, and I'm freaking excited to read this because I do have the archived, I read it, I enjoyed it, and I haven't read the second one though yet, oops. So many great things, and this is an adult novel, which I don't read very often, so I'm actually really excited to be venturing out of my little Whitney comfort zone. We need a moment of silence for this next one. If you have been on my channel for a while, you know how obsessed I am with these books, and Ignite Me was perfection. I can't talk about it because I'll start crying or screaming or laying on the floor or whatever else I need to do to get rid of those feels. Unite Me, which is the novellas of Horner, then Adam, and then it has Juliet's journal in the back. I can't handle that. That is too much feel. Too much feel. I was crying during Destroy Me the night it came out in October 2nd, 2013, whenever it was parts of her journal, so I can't imagine reading the whole thing, because that is just heartbreak at its most acute form. But I do want to eventually reread this whole thing so I can mark it on Goodreads as read, so then I got 4 books for a challenge that I'll be making a video for soon, and those 4 books are these. So they are, I'm just going to mention them very briefly because I'm going to talk about them more in that video. It is A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. How do you pronounce that? I don't know, I'm sorry. Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. Nothing by Jan Teller. And C by Heidi R. Kling. Then yesterday I went to Half Price Books and broke my book buying ban. Don't look at me like that. Do not look at me like that. I tried really hard for like a month and a half. I ended up selling some books, and so I bought some with that money that we got. And so I picked up Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Brosh. Sounds like broth. And broth makes me think of soup. And I had soup for breakfast. And I feel great. That is ADD at its finest, people. ADD at its finest. This book is just a collection of meme type things, and I think it's gonna be hilarious, and I'm excited to read it for that reason. I don't really read humor books. This is probably my only humor book I've ever picked up, ever read, ever touched, so that'll be fun to experience for the first time. Then I got White Cat by Holly Black, which was blurbed by Cassandra Clare, which is the reason I bought it. Also, because the guy on the front is hot and holding a cat, so that was part of it also, but shh. This is just about a family of curse workers who have powers to change their emotions. I'm literally just reading off the back in case you're wondering. They can change their emotions, memories, and luck by the touch of their hands. The curse is illegal. He has the magic touch. He hasn't got the magic touch. So he's a straight kid in a crooked family, but he killed his best friend. He sleepwalks. Something about dreaming about a white cat, which sounds fun. Honestly, I just got it because Cassandra Clare blurbed it, and Cassandra and her are really good friends or something like that, and I trust Cassandra Clare with my— actually, I don't. 6 main characters? Really, Cassie? Then I bought a brick. If you put on a Les Mis song, there was me in the background breaking out into song like one day more because I'm obsessed with it. So I do want to read this really badly. I know it'll be a huge project. It'll probably take me like 3 months to read, but I started it last night, and honestly, it's not hard to read. I just think it'll be very boring and time consuming. So if you've managed to accomplish reading this, let me know how to do it, because dang. I do want to read it though, because I love these characters so much, and I don't want to be that one person that's just obsessed with the movie, because that's kind of lame, so I want to read it and get to know more about it in a way that the movie doesn't portray. Then I found the first 2 books in the Chaos Walking trilogy. I got book 1 and book 2, The Knife of Never Letting Go, and The Ask and the Answer. These books, I have so many people raving about these, and there's too many people that like these that I could even start listing, but first one is this one, second one is this one. I think you can probably figure that out. But I found the pretty covers at Half Price Books, which I'm really surprised about and really also excited about, because these are the ones that I wanted. And I cannot wait to read these. It's about a world in which you can hear each other's thoughts and something in that manner. It's called The Noise. It's a pretty hard to explain concept. But then he finds a place where there was no noise. And then shenanigans ensue. And I'm not sure what happens in this one, because that would be a spoiler and no one's got time for that. The next book is one that I've had my eye on for a very long time, but haven't really decided on getting until I saw it there for like $6. That is My Name is Mina. I'm not sure if all this is part of the title, so let's pretend it's not. And this book has, first of all, like a really simplistic yet amazing cover. I just think that is so neat. And this book is just a collection of journal entries about this girl, Mina, and I think it's just going to be really cool. It's pretty short, the font is huge for the most part, and it sounds like it's going to be really not, so what's the word when you think about something? All I'm hoping for is that it'll be a little bit thought-provoking, and then if it is, that's great. If it's not, oh well, it just sounds really neat. I like journal-type books, like Perks Being a Wallflower, and there's not really that many of them out there, so, Then I got some new releases, so let's get to it. This is Laurie House Anderson's new book, The Impossible Knife of Memory. I forgot to take the sticker off. Let's do that now. Can we? Yeah. It's easy to take off because the cover is like paper. This is a signed copy of it, so I actually haven't seen the signature yet. Oh, there it is. It's so cute. It's all signed. Okay. Then I got Cress by Marissa Meyer, and I do not own Scarlet, but she is coming to my town in a week on Friday, so I am gonna get this signed. I thought might as well get it while it's here for $14 instead of getting it for $20 when I'm at Barnes & Noble next week. So I got this to read whenever I finish Scarlet. And then here's not really a new release, but it was there for 20% off. It's Just One Day by Gayle Forman. I read If I Stay, and I didn't really enjoy it that much, but I think it's because I just wasn't in the mood to read it. But this one just sounds also really awesome, and it's a guy named William, and as we know, William is a great name. Will Herondale. All I see is the word William and the word Paris, which I think makes for a great story. I also really like this cover. It's like hipster girl in a coffee shop. We're winding down to the last things I got. So here's a book I've already read that I bought, which is Outlander by Diana. Okay, I pronounce it Gableton, but then I read the guy in the store said it really weirdly, and I forgot to put into my brain how he pronounced it. So, Gabalden? Is it Gabalden? I don't know. Don't know. But I read this last year because my history teacher recommended it to me, and I thought it was pretty good. And I don't really read historical fiction, so that's saying something. So I got this, and then also picked up the sequel, which I don't know if I'll read soon, but I think I want to know where the series is going, even if there's like 10 books and a TV series coming out. I don't know. I liked it. And then my dad insisted I get this one because one of his old high school friends became an author, and he saw her book there, and it is Where the Wind Blows by Carolyn Fife? I don't know. He wants me to read this and review it, and it is not something that I or my viewers really read, a Western romance, but I might as well try it. It's something new. I want to do more new stuff, and it's someone he knows. I mean, that's pretty cool. I kind of do want to read it, actually. Just a last random couple things. I got 2 books for review this/last year. One of them is The Cottage and Its Lady by Beatrice Bugane. I don't know. Let's just call her Tris, because that's what we do. This is Books Over Looks novella that came out that she sent me that I read that I really enjoyed. It's about an old lady that lives in her cottage and she has a routine every day, and then that routine gets destructed, what's the word I'm looking for? Disturbed? I don't know. And it's her life before and after and just how she copes with things, and it is so good. Plot twist at the end, oh my gosh. Then I got Project Eden by B. Moritz. Stress. This is a sci-fi novel about someone's, you can walk through someone's dreams and nightmares, and this reminds me of a different book that I haven't read, so I don't know, I think I'm gonna like it, even though I don't typically read sci-fi fantasy type things like this, but it sounds cool, and the cover is kind of trippy. Don't go toward the light, little dude, So, cannot wait to venture onto this eventually, someday, possibly in the near future. And then I got 3 bookmarks, which, like I said, very random, but one of them is bacon, which people get really freaked out when they see at school, because, like, if you saw this sitting on a desk, would you not be like, wow, why do you have bacon on your desk? Because it looks like a real bacon. It does. Then I got 2 other paper bookmarks, which are a lot more breakable, so I can't really bring them to school, but this one says, never judge a book by its movie, which is very true. And then this one says, got books, and it has cows on it. And I think these are really adorable, but again, they're paper, and they're really easy to rip, so I'm kind of scared to use them almost. Whereas this one's like really bendable plastic, and you can see it's laminated. And that was my freaking enormous haul. I hope it'll be the last one for a very long time. I never got around to uploading my 2014 goals video, but my goal for Book Buying Ban is buy no more until it's down to 25 books. So once all of this and all of all that stuff is gone, then I can buy books again. But until then, no. So thank you for watching, everybody. Until next time, have a great, awesome, fantastic, majestic, lovely, heart-filled, love, ice cream, ponies and rainbows, and hugs and kisses, and books and fictional characters filled day. I'm WhittyNovels, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!